It's nice and sunny outside. Beautiful day. It's been raining a lot. I'm not a rain person, unless I'm with a woman in bed. But um, where do we? What do we do when we go to sleep? What do we do? Where do we go? We know we go to the astral plane. That's the dream world, and the astral plane is where we create based on our thoughts. And everybody knows when you go to sleep, with a bad mood, you might have a nightmare. If you go to sleep in a good mood, you might have a good dream. If you go to sleep with a holding a focus and a thought pattern of you feeling bad about yourself, chances are you're going to experience that in the astral plane when you sleep. You experience something that's good about yourself, you can experience that in the astral plane, man. It's an alternative reality. You could say it's another alternative universe that you have purposely created based off your thought pattern. It's the same it's the same physics when you're there, but it's not the same quantum physics, if you get what I'm saying. You can't feel the same things you feel there that you feel here. Here it's more physical because we're in the physical world, but in the astral plane it's more inner dimensional. So one could say that you don't really sleep, you just enter another cycle of reality, you enter another cycle of existence. But it's a reality where, one, when you wake up from it, you don't remember half of it. Two, it hyper sensitizes your body, so you feel like you experienced something, but you were in the act of rest. You see, which is sleep. But if the act of rest is sleep, then that should mean that we should stop thinking. We should stop everything. We should stop processing our mind, our body. We should be dead in a way. You see, which is how most people feel when they're in a coma. They're dead physically in this physical world, but in the astral plane they still exist. Therefore, you get a lot of people who have survived comas or NDEs, non near death experiences. They honestly come back a different person because what they experience in another realm and staying in that realm for so long, it it almost revitalizes their body to the life they had previously lived from. It's like, when you have an intense dream, you wake up and you're sort of reflecting from that dream as if it was so real, as if it had happened right there and there, which in actual fact it did happen right there and there. It was real, but not in the physical world that you see right now. It was in the world that you were in when you were asleep. Those feelings don't just come about and you can just dismiss as if it's a dream. It's not a dream, people. It's you living in another world. You don't sleep. You've never been sleeping. The only sleep you could say is the sleep of the NPCs in this world, where their subconscious is not awake to this reality. That's the sleep that exists. Other than that, you go to bed. Your spirit is traveling to another dimension. That is the quantum physics of how it works. Metaphysically speaking, you creating another world for yourself when you exit this one, which could also mean that you don't die. You see, heaven and hell don't exist. It's based off your thought process. How you died. If your thought process was in pain, anguish, lust, fear, chances are you will go to a place that has those thought process, because as above, so below. Vice versa, if you have positive feedback, your body responds to that positive feedback, which responds to the thought process, which will then execute to the reality process that you want to manifest. Once you drop dead in this physical world, you can manifest that reality to another dimension. We don't die. We do not sleep. It's the same thing with sleep. We go to sleep for thought process. We manifest that into that reality when we rest and leave this body. Because in this physical world, we have this body, this 3D body, this matter body. But in the astral plane, we have an astral body, one which we can't see, one which you could say maybe is our shadow, one which you could say is it's our spirit, the inner being within us, the thoughts that we hear in our voice, that person. You see, the yin and yang effect. As above, so below, people. We do not sleep. And for the people who say that, oh, I sleep, I just don't remember my dreams, you're just not fluid in this reality. You're not your subconscious is still holding on to this illusion, this show right here. That's why you can't remember, or you can't legit feel your body in your dreams. That's lucid dreaming. That's a skill we can obtain through meditation, through groundwork, through intuitive work, through raising our vibrations, through raising our energy. We can experience that, but we're in a world where it just sucks out all the energy. We don't experience these um mystic powers that is within us, that we can experience fully within this world if we just tap in. That's it. If we just tap in. The phrase that these most people nowadays is tap in, tap in. Tap in within yourself. You can experience the other world for what it is, the other world, not a dream. It's not a dream, it's another world. The nightmare is not a nightmare, it's just another world based on your thought processes. Work on your thought process. Work on your thought processes before you sleep and watch what the fuck you get into. Sorry for my language. Watch what you accept yourself going into when you go to sleep. We move on.